Yes.
Oh, you filming all that bit? That'd be more fun. It'd be more fun, that bit.
Hey, Oliver. See, he's on his toes.
There you go.
Sean, you've had a few days to digest the performance and results on Monday night. What are your reflections now?
Similar. I thought it was overall a decent performance. We didn't get what we wanted, obviously. The key for me at the minute is to get back to a performance level that can win games. I think we've had a spell when some of our performances weren't good enough. But we're coming out of that. A good performance in very testing circumstances. We know that at Leicester for different reasons. And then at least a solid performance and a decent performance and some good individual performances on Monday. You know, and it'd be nice to have a bit of the rub of the green, because for all your planning, still, deflected goal goes in. That's a tough one to take. We certainly created chances, but not just creating chances. You know, it's creating the quality of chance, which we did. So I was pleased with that. But of course, more to come. You know, we're in a results business. We all know that. So by hook or crook, you have to find a way of getting results. But my suggestion is that when you're planning on results and performances to earn results, then over a season, that's more of a benefit than just getting a lucky one now and again. At least that's the plan.
You've been quite consistent, even 12 months ago when results were going ever so well, in saying, look, we're not going to get too high. And equally this year, you've said never get too low because you feel you're fairly close. But is there a degree of pressure being felt now, given that it is only 2 wins this season and you are a third of the way through?
Well, pressure's only relative. You know, there has to be a reality to the story, and there certainly is with us. So, you know, I have to compute everything that's gone on this season, and there's considerable things gone on this season, you know, regarding Europe, regarding the team, regarding injuries, etc., etc., and still really not lose focus on the work on the grass. The lads have been terrific. The last couple of weeks particularly, the level of training, again today, spoke to them again today, the level of commitment, you know, in the last couple of games, even before that, but certainly the last couple of games. But, you know, you're looking in their eyes on the training pitch and you think they're ready to go. And I thought there was certainly no lack of will, desire. I think we can still add things, of course. Every manager's looking for that. But the way the players go about it is the right way to change, you know, your results. And I think that's certainly the first marker you look for. You know, there's other things that go on, but mainly it's, are the players right physicality, of course, right mentality. Tactical is, you know, put as much down to us, of course, and technically, you know, are they sharp? Are they bright? And I think there's been good signs of that. You know, so it's adding it all together, getting a performance, and then, like I say, now and again, you still need a scratch of luck.
Well, if pressure's perhaps a poor adjective, then is frustration a better one?
No, I'm not saying there's not pressure, because we have our own pressure, don't forget. No one will ever, in football, no one will ever put as much pressure on you as you, on yourself, that is. Whether it's me as manager, the staff have been terrific as well. The work they're doing with the players, I think, is excellent at the moment. And also individuals, you know, within that. So there's always pressure. That's the game that we're in. But it is balanced out with frustration. But then equally, them two things are balanced out with when I see a group of players committed as they are and delivering performances that I think are improving, then that gives you, you know, a real belief in what you do. And the belief has been strong here for a number of years. So, you know, it's important to not go too far away whilst trying to add the things that obviously get the wins that we need. And basically, a lot of our performances this season have been very close. Last year, we got on the right side of it. This year, we haven't done as many times, quite obviously.
Team news, obviously, Joey wasn't available on Monday night. Ben started on the bench. Where are we for this weekend?
We're more or less back now. I don't want to tempt fate because it's Thursday. The last time I said we're more or less back, we had 3 go down. But Johan was sick the other night. He had an illness, a bug, so he'll be back in the thinking. Ben Gibson, that is, got a training game, as did Taki on Tuesday. I'm trying to think who else. They're the main ones that spring to mind. And generally other people getting sharper. The good thing with the break, we managed to get some good work into them. So I think that's given another edge to their performance. Certainly on Monday, the physical stats are very high. You know, so there's a number of different things, but obviously with the injury side, it is beneficial when you've got a full complement of players to pick from, and we're virtually on the back of getting that. Other than the long term, Popey, of course, Ward is making good progress, but still a bit away yet.
Transfer window's only a month or so away. Could it be that the addition of 1 or 2 players might be timely if you can get them?
Well, it's if you can get them, as you suggest. Mike Riggs coming in, give us a new sort of thinking, new set of eyes, a new thought process, or add into the thought process on players. Everyone knows January is a really, really tough window. So to make it clear, we're not looking for Mike to come in and just, miraculously hand over 7 players. We're looking for a longer reward than that, a bigger picture process to add to what we try and do on the recruitment side. January is forever problematic, for players. So we just have to wait and see on that. There's certain people that we think, we're interested in, but we'll have to wait and see.
What about Crystal Palace then this weekend? Because we've spent the last 10 minutes talking about Burnley and where you find yourself this season. They're on a tougher run than you are right now. No wins in 7, going back to September. Is it an opportunity right here, right now, if you can get that opening goal?
I think, first of all, maximum respect for Roy and Ray. And people, Ray I played under, think so much of him, and Roy I've come to know over the years. So they certainly know what they're doing for sure. They've got a team with some talent. They've got a team that can win games, and yet I think that's the measure of the Premier League. How tough it is. As I mentioned the other day, I think Bournemouth are absolutely fantastic this season so far, and they've had their first little run of games, and they continue to do superb things, and Palace haven't found that win. We haven't found that win. It's tough. It's life in the Premier League. The thing that if it is a good thing, I'm not saying it is, but I have the experience of these type of runs, and I think the one thing I know is that good work on the training pitch and good belief systems put into the players will enhance your chances of winning. It doesn't guarantee it. So that's what we look to do, and I'm sure that Roy and Ray will be doing their version of that with their players. But it is the challenge of the Premier League. It is there for all to see. It's never easy, and we have to continually focus on ourselves, what we're doing here, and how we go about our games.
I'm sure they'll probably be saying a similar thing though, but if you can get that first goal, you're actually up the pressure on them, and it's an opportunity, isn't it, at the weekend?
Well, stats strongly suggest that first goal is important in games. We know that, and not just the scoreline. I mentioned many times the feel of a game. But even then, wins can come in many different ways. I mean, Newcastle, won the other night. I think it's fair to say I haven't seen the game. Watford should have been out of sight. They weren't. They win that one, get a scratch of luck, win the next one, win against us, and it looks different. That's sometimes how it reverses. So it's never too far away, but you have to work to go and get it to come your way, and that's our intention.
You'd take a goal right now going off somebody's backside.
Well, you take goals anyway, however they go in. Like I say, to be clear, you will take a lucky win. And you will take a lucky moment, you will take a decision. What I'm saying is, over a season, you can't rely on that. So therefore, I'm certainly looking for the team to be performing and maximising their performances, because I think over a season, that's going to pay you back more than hope and just waiting for a lucky chance.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
James Tarkowski is back for a bit now.
Oh, yeah, on his way to forfeit. It'd be in the thinking, but he's only just been training the last week or so. But obviously, he didn't have too long out, and he was fully fit going into the injury. Gibbo's slightly different because he's had got back, then got injured again. So he's on his second comeback, if you like. So he's not as match ready as Tarky, it's fair to say. But they're both out on the grass. They're both training with us all the time at the moment, which is really pleasing. And like I say, Johan coming in today after being ill for a few days, and we're kind of getting back there. Robbie getting sharper. Stephen, obviously, fitness continues to improve. And the game readiness of all the players, which is important.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Robbie, actually. I mean, obviously, he was out for such a long time. You can't expect him to be kind of back at top form already, but where do you feel like he is?
Well, I think it takes time for players. Roughly, approximately a year is a long time, to be out. But he's doing really well. We know he's got quality. We know he can adapt. We know he can affect games and add to what we do. And like I say, Stephen's just in front of the curve game-wise, but still getting fitter, still getting stronger, still getting your eye in, so to speak, and that game intelligence that comes with playing. So we look for both of them to continue in what they're doing.
And just on Mike Riggs as well, what was it that made him kind of stand out above the other candidates?
Well, I think it was a joint process, certainly with me and Mike Garlick. And I think a big part of the role technical director is in its different guises, but here it will be to certainly add depth and knowledge to the recruitment side of things. So that's the immediacy, and then other things to come after that. But that's certainly the intention early on, to have a look at what we do, to add to what we do, and help restructure what we do in order to improve the recruitment process, obviously.
Thanks, Eleanor. Okay, thumbs up.
Thank you.